Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is your friends Kyle, Drew, and Eric from Kowabunga Comics with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 681 for Comics Original, coming out November 2nd and November 3rd. But before Drew, Eric, and myself get into what's coming up in your local comic book shops this coming week, I'm sure we got all kinds of things to talk about in the world of comics. There's everything going on.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to our newest patron, John Saavedra. John Saavedra, thank you for becoming a patron, and we appreciate it. And John knows that becoming a patron has its perks. You go to Patreon/Comics for Fun and Profit, and you get access to exclusive reviews, early access to shows, early access to some cool exclusive comics via Kowabunga that other people don't get to see yet. So that's pretty sweet. That's out there right now. We've got our exclusive Slack access, which is a fantastic conversation that's been going on with all our patrons. Lots of swag, lots of contests, and even exclusive access to Drew's comic project, which is probably not a real draw, but eventually it could be. And also, one of the cool things is, in November and December, we're giving away some CGC 9.8 slabs. And so we'll do one in November and one in December to existing patrons. So all you have to do is be a patron at any level before then, and you can get in that drawing. And I've posted them on our Twitter and our Facebook. And in our Patreon, so you can see the different...
And in Instagram. I saw them on Instagram.
Oh, and on Instagram, so I did do that. So you can choose between Geiger 1, Batgirl 50, Secret Wars 5, The Joker #1, Red Sonja, Catwoman, Amazing Spider-Man 21, Marauders 3, Demon Days, X-Men 1, or Haha 1. There might be another one in there, too. But yeah, go check those posts out. They're really sweet looking covers. Those compliments of Adam Pastry. Eric, since he's here, has also graciously donated some wonderful gifts for our existing patrons that'll be going out later, as well as he's doing a new patron giveaway to 3 of our newest patrons, I believe, will be winning that gift, and I believe those slots have already been filled. So you don't get that one, but you do get entered in the other giveaway. So there's lots and lots of free, cool, awesome comics coming your way just for being a patron to the show and getting all the other cool stuff. So I don't know what you're waiting for. Get in on the ground floor of the greatest Patreon in the history of Patreons.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was a nice marketing spin.
I like that, yeah. Eric, what's been going on, man? You haven't been on for a couple of months. It's nice to have you back. Anything exciting and new you want to talk about?
Oh man, it's been busy. We were kind of talking a little bit here before we started the recording. We've been just all out at the store. It has been continued to be incredibly busy, great sales, just an incredible year. Coming out of COVID, I guess the lockdowns, and just not really knowing what's going to happen. And now, of course, with the industry feeling a different wave, so originally distribution stopped, then we've had publisher changes going to different distribution itself. Now we've got paper shortages, we've got shipping snafus, and
yeah,
it has just been, one heck of a carnival. I think my wristband is about worn out, but there's always seems to be one more roller coaster on the horizon, so we keep trudging forward. But you know what? We're alive.
Yeah,
we're thriving.
The Kowabunga train keeps on trucking, and you got like multiple prongs here. The store's booming.
Yep.
You've got deep discount, the mail orders that Kyle and I are a part of, that we love getting our comics that way. That's booming, and you're doing shows. You got all kinds of stuff going on. So it's awesome. You're diversifying, and everything you touch turned to gold. That's awesome.
Well, we are not without flaw. There are definitely things, and most of it, I'll have to be honest, and this is not me trying to pass the buck, but there's a lot of things that, like I was saying, are kind of a little bit outside our control. With shipping delays, that's kind of put a pinch on some of the mail order stuff and in store. Damages with the first couple weeks of Penguin Random House shipments were tough. I think we're through most of the woods on that with replacements. So it hasn't been without its chinks in the armor, but everyone's dealing with it. So it's one of those things where the customers have, if they have questions, they always reach out, and we're always happy to let them know exactly what's going on. They've been really gracious and understanding about everything, which is that's commendable and appreciated. But yeah, as far as the multi-prong attack, I mean, it really has this year. Going into at the end of last year, going into this year, we kind of thought that what we were going to be doing was a little bit different. We had kind of planned for one path, but with all the big shows being shut down for a long time, and some of the other stuff we were looking at, it made sense to not take that path. So we flipped the switch and went the other way. We've doubled down on our presence at conventions. So every convention in the area that's happened, we've been at. Just got done with Wizard World Chicago 2 weeks ago, which was huge for us. We had 3 booths, like a 3-booth setup, which was great. Got a lot of great sales, met a lot of good people, got a lot of industry contacts with other large vendors. Now with Ace purchasing the Wizard brand, it'll become one of the Ace shows. So next year we are signed up for Fan Expo Chicago already. Same spot, 3 booths again. So I mean, like, it's been big there. And then, as a lot of people know, we've been doing exclusives, and they're still rolling in. It's been, and this is something that we talked about before we recorded, I guess, was a little bit of our mindset on it. We're not doing like a Scorpion Comics or a Comics Elite kind of approach, or Torpedo, where it's just like every new #1 has to have exclusives and this and that. We're pretty targeted in what we're doing. A lot of people notice that we really are predominantly working with 2 publishers, Valiant and Image. We do have a couple of Marvel books out with the War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha, our Boba Fett cover, and then the Black Widow 11 Adam Hughes Virgin cover. Those are with Marvel. But really, the program that we've put together with exclusives has been incredibly well received. It's done well for us, continues to do well. We're continuing it. We've got more covers coming throughout the end of the year and into next year. The one that was announced early to patron members is now fully live, and that is our Stray Dogs Dog Days #1 exclusive. We have 2 covers, one color trade and then the other a white and blue sketch. And the distinction with our cover is it is the only non-horror movie homage cover. So ours is Lady and the Tramp.
Okay. Yeah.
And the way that it came about was actually kind of by accident. I thought of the idea right away for it. The artist put a sketch together. We sent it to Tony Fleeks, and he said he loved it. So we forwarded it to Image, and they came back and said, I don't think we can approve this because they want everything to be horror. Showed the message from Tony, and it was kind of one of those like, oh, Tony didn't realize that he was approving it. Image didn't realize that Tony approved it. So everybody kind of got cool about it and said, you know what? This is really cool. We had the cover done before they had used the Lady and the Tramp in their description for the issue. So it was just kind of like serendipity. Everything kind of fell into place, and they were like, you know what?
Oh, that's great.
Let's do it. So we have the Disney Lady and the Tramp homage, which is awesome. It's available at shopkowabunga.com. And so that one's cool. We will be teasing 2 more exclusive covers. And what I think I might do this time is, instead of just teasing the cover, patrons will have early access to purchase the covers.
Oh, that's cool.
So those will be coming out probably early next week for one, and then a couple weeks after for the one after that. And people are going to want to pay attention to these as well.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when I made my trek up to Wisconsin to your old shop before you moved, and was able to get the Phil Hester Jimmy's Bastards exclusive. I think that was your first exclusive, right?
That was, yes.
And now, a couple of years later, you've got over 20?
Uh, pretty close.
That's amazing. That is just amazing. I need to make another trip up.
You definitely do.
True.
You definitely do. There's no reason why you shouldn't. No reason why anybody shouldn't. To be honest, but no, it's
Everyone should be.
yeah. I think if you're in the area, it's well worth your time stopping in. We have 100,000 back issues out at any given point. We've got recent books, bronze, silver, a couple of golden age books on the wall, obviously, and we have a wall. We have sets. We have the exclusives. We've got artist editions. We've got toys. About 5,000 square feet worth of fun.
Yeah. Now, is the sky falling as far as this supply chain and paper shortage thing is happening, or is it overblown from what you're hearing from the retailer chats?
I don't want to say that it is overblown because it is definitely a thing. I think what the publishers are doing a really good job right now of trying to stay in front of all of it. And then on top of that, the printers are doing a pretty dang good job as well of trying to stay ahead as much as possible. And the way that they're doing it is they're pushing FOCs out a little bit more. They're being more proactive and potentially using different printers than they would have normally, and they're working with the printers to secure paper stock farther in advance. So for a lot of what would happen is it was kind of like point in time, like, well, here's the order that we want, here's the amount of copies we want, and then it would be printed. Well, now what they're doing is they're looking at it and saying, okay, we know that we're going to need, approximately 80,000 for this issue. We're going to have 2 exclusives, so you need to secure 120,000, for a print run, and they're having the printers go out and get the paper secured early. So they're doing more of that. So I think it's a little bit. I don't want to say it's overblown, but I think the publishers are doing a pretty good job of trying to get in front of it as well as they can. And the publishers like Image and Marvel, who are pushing the print dates for items on FOC out. It kind of sucks that there's a bigger gap in between FOC, but I'd rather them do that and get a secure print run than just grab a print run and trying to go for it.
Yeah, that's true. Kyle and I were kind of weighing in last week on the new Image. No more second prints going forward. I'm curious what your retailer take is on this new policy, and how much of your business is affected by the fact that you will have second prints to sell, third prints to sell, fourth prints, etc.
I don't think it's going to be as big of an impact as. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as big of an impact, to be quite honest. Subsequent printings, by and large, aren't. It's very few and far between that subsequent printings are really, a big moneymaker or a big in-demand hot item.
Like the occasional ice cream man or something that hits with the Dr. Seuss cover that hits, but not too many of them do that, right?
Exactly. So I mean, like, if we're ordering in 100 copies of a first print, we may order 4 of the second print. Like, that's an order of magnitude for us, and that's like if we sold through the first and we thought we still needed some. If we didn't sell through the first, we're probably not going to order any of a subsequent print, unless somebody asks us to. Obviously, then we would. But yeah.
So even if other publishers follow suit, it's such a small portion of your business, it doesn't really affect you much. So if Marvel does it, any
I
other
think
thing.
Marvel would be a bigger impact just because it's
Sheer
Marvel.
volume.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
volume that they do. So, and with Marvel, you still have some completionists that want every cover. Every cover of Spider-Man or every cover of Venom. So that we see more prevalent there, and so we would have to. It would be money lost for us, but with the other publishers, not quite as bad.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle and I were kind of more sky is falling, I think. So thanks
I
for
think
talking us off the ledge.
the real interesting thing would be, if we could get a creator's take on it, because, you know, Image, it's creator owned, and like for the exclusives, we set our print run, we get it scheduled and approved and pay for it, and it just kind of seems interesting that, if a book is selling well, why wouldn't you, why be absolute? Why wouldn't you say,
Yeah.
yeah, it's selling really well. Let's
And
instead
if
of
I
it
want
being
to,
out in 3 weeks, it's going to take 6 weeks.
yeah, and if I want to pay my $2,500 listing fee with you, Image, you'll print whatever the hell I want because that's the deal, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the thinking that I have on it too. Is
Yeah,
you
that's
think they wouldn't
true.
want to turn away that kind of money, but who knows? And maybe it's a clause in the contracts where it's like, hey, this is, like in insurance, what's an act of God? Like there's extenuating circumstances. So I don't know.
Yeah, be interesting.
All I know is Drew was wrong because he wanted to cancel all variant covers in order to solve the problem.
You course corrected me quickly on that one, Kyle. But you know what, though? What I was right about is if you really are concerned about the paper shortage, you would get rid of 1 in 1,000s and 1 in 500s and things like that. That I was right about.
Yeah, because they just create a myriad of just large quantities of never seen books.
Yeah, yeah. That, Eric has to store in the back room for a year before he sells them.
Boy, if I could get rid of them at the end of a year, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because you have gone in on a couple 1 in 1,000s, and there's probably still a couple of those copies floating around.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he's still got some of those Spider-Man books back there.
Oh yeah, we've got ASM 25, Spider-Man 800. We've got some Moon Knight ones. Not many of those left, or was it not Moon Knight one? Moon Knight. What was the big finale?
It was 250 or 200,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
200.
we've got some of those left. There was an Art Germ Thor. We have those. And yeah, one or two others, man. They start to blur together. Some of that was before we even moved over to the new shop, which is going on, closing in on 4 years in the spring.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been 5 years since I've been up there. Then.
Yep.
That's amazing. I need to travel more. Darn pandemic.
Hey, if you knew a guy who had a camper, you could have a hotel with you everywhere you go.
Well, he's got to not be in it though.
Well, I hear he's good at starting the fire for you.
Absolutely. You need the logistics? I've got that portion.
And he's good with foil packs and roasting s'mores for sure.
So he's your driver and your basically your Jeeves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. I like it. We'll definitely do that. Hey guys, you want to dig into the new previews is out? You want to dig into Image and see what they got?
Sure.
Of course I want to dig into Image. Do you know what this finally is? January 2022, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Saga's back. So we have to just jump straight to Image. There's no need to talk about anything else.
Well, I don't think
then.
Saga's the first one, is it?
No,
it's not even close. It's not the first one there.
Okay.
But in my mind, number one in your heart. I just,
Well, I mean, we should talk about Aerosmith Behind Enemy Lines. 6 issue series.
Correct. I'm going to go in order, but I'm bearing the lead here.
Kurt Busiek. I haven't seen much from him for a little while, so it's awesome that he's back. He's got a nice...
Well, they talk about a new Kurt Busiek era at Image, so apparently there's probably multiple things he's getting ready to toss
And
out.
I'll probably buy them all.
Yep.
Including
So
waiting for the next Peter Pounds Faust.
I think
I don't think that was him.
that was
that they're offering again, so I think that's the artist.
Yep.
or whatever.
The biggest thing for me is I'm hoping, because for whatever reason Vertigo was just a bunch of poop heads. Hopefully this means that we'll get Astro City in complete form reprinted, and if they do the deluxe hardcover treatment of it, that would be just fine by me.
Yeah, and I might actually pull the trigger on that, for the nice oversized representation of Astro City. That'd be pretty sweet. Or an omnibus compendium type style even. That'd be kind of cool. There's a lot of that out there. There's got to be more than a compendium's worth.
Oh yeah, and so Drew, I got you the half issue, and then you picked up the finale of Astro City that kind of built off of that, right? And you liked it.
Yep. Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. It was like my issue of the year when I was on John Mayo's Pet podcast, and we did our yearly wrap up, and that was one of my issues of the year. It was so good.
Yeah, Kurt's an amazing writer.
And the art looks fine. I'm good with
Carlos
it.
Pacheco.
32 pages. It says self-cover. What the heck is a self-cover?
I don't know. It's interesting,
so I
though.
wasn't sure.
But yeah, I can't wait for this. I don't even know what it's about. What is it? World War One?
Yeah, World War One era.
It's World War One, but a war of wizards and dragons as much as bullets and barbed wire.
Right.
That's good enough for me. I'll do that. Yes, please.
Yeah.
That's only $3.99. Yeah. Heck yeah. Check that out. What is that? 34 in the no 43. What page is this? 34.
34.
In your print previews. Yeah.
Yep.
So what is it now? Are we going to hold the line at $3.99? I think the last person holding the line is Spawn at $2.99.
Spawn.
Isn't Savage
the rest of
Dragon
us have,
$2.99 too?
Well, it depends if it actually comes out or not.
Well, once every 6 months, isn't it $2.99?
I think it might be. It's true.
Joe Hill's Reign, number 1 of 5. So Joe Hill and David Boer. He really likes to put his name on things, doesn't he? He had the Hill House book line over at
Black
DC.
Label.
Yeah. Now he's can't just be called Reign. It's going to be called Joe Hill's Reign.
So how do you pronounce this new publishing imprint? SYZYGY Publishing.
Where are we looking? Where's that? Where do you see that?
It's the
Joe Hill's Reign.
the first and
That
Chris
first
Ryall
word
and
there in
Ashley
bold.
Wood's new. Yeah, sure.
Syzygy Publishing imprint. Okay. So it's okay. Whatever. That's cool. This is Love and Rockets meets Lock and Key. I think I'd like that.
There we go. Art's good on
Art's
it.
great.
Looks interesting enough.
Yeah, art's fantastic. Oh, there's a little something called Saga, Kyle. What do you think about that?
Hey, our hiatus is over. Our quick 6-month break that turned into 2.5 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Is over. This is, of course, the midway point. So we hit this knowing we got another 54 issues to finish this bad boy up.
Holding the line at $2.99, Eric.
Holding the line at $2.99.
48 pages.
48 pages, $2.99. That is what I signed up for years ago, and it continues on. So,
Until 20.
Now is
until
the time
26 pages are just like snippets from the previous 54 issues.
To catch you up.
We have the catchback issue. I think they're going to get 50 cents more expensive each issue until the very end. So it's going to drain us as they go.
I don't care.
But now's the time you put in your order to buy your 3 copies of it now, and then you start reading number 1, and then you catch back up through the 54 issues just in time for this one to hit January 26th.
Will Kowabunga do a midnight release party for this?
Depends if any of us can stay up that late. If there's interest, we might consider it, but probably not.
You just sell it early. I know it. I knew it. I knew it.
We just give in too easy.
Just remember, Tuesday's a release day too now.
That's true. It is.
Yes.
Now, this is Hazel on the cover.
Yeah.
And then the character on the left, that's
Elena,
and who's the guy with the with the axe.
Whew, again, this is why I'm going to be reading them all over again.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
It's not Marco, is it?
No.
That's like
No, that's not Marco.
yeah. It's
no,
been a
this
while.
isn't Elena. This isn't Elena either. This is the transsexual character, right?
That's right.
Oh.
On the left.
It's been 2 years. It's time to revisit.
Yeah.
But just know that in the blurb here, just more pulse-pounding adventure, heart-wrenching character drama, and glorious graphic sex and violence. So they're sticking with what got them there. So
gloriously graphic sex and violence. Yes, that's fantastic.
yeah.
Give me. It sold 6.8 million copies to date across all formats. That seems significant to me.
Many copies of each throughout the first 4, and multiple times buying trade number 1 and handing it to people. So, yeah, I've rolled quite a few of those myself.
Yeah. And it's one of my favorites. Everything's offered again, so we're going to give you all the trades, all the hardcovers, the trade slipcase, the compendium, the image first. They're all back in print. Just beautiful. Enjoy.
Should put my full run up for sale on eBay as this comes out. Is it back to hot again?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Put a big number on it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Bolero? Wyatt Kennedy, Luana Vecchio. It's a 5-issue miniseries about a woman running away from a broken heart, discovering a mother key into parallel universe. Discovers a mother key into a parallel universe. The rules are the key can work any door. The mother will only let you visit 53 universes. Do not ask to speak to the mother, and never hop more than 53 times. This is Sex Criminals meets Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it's. I think I'm a pass.
56 pages for $4.
Oh,
so
wait.
They're giving you all they can with that first one.
Okay, I'm back. I'll give them that first one for sure. That's a heck of a deal.
They're giving us all. I like how they're giving us usually about 3 pages of preview art on some of these number ones. Here.
Yeah,
they're giving us,
I'm sure
a lot of internals.
I'm sure the previews folks are discounting their ad rates. They've got they don't really have a lot. They've got to fill that DC and Marvel hole.
Right. We need more pages now.
Yes, please. Put whatever you want in there. Put house ad. We don't care.
We have Junie Ba with Monkey Meat number 1. Every single one of these new number 1s from Image is a limited series of 5 or 6.
Except Saga.
Nothing. Well, that's not a new number 1. That's a continuation of this.
True,
but
you're
everything
right.
everything they've started, there's no ongoing.
What's
it's just short.
What's
stories
Drew's
still.
rule?
Just don't put a friggin' number on it, and then if it ends at 6, it ends at 6.
Everything's a miniseries until it isn't.
Yeah.
Everything's an ongoing until it isn't. There's no rules unless you're Batman or Spider-Man. There's no consistency. You can't count on anything.
I like the old advertisements in the pages of the Monkey Meat thing.
Yeah, I just missed it, but I kind of think it's intriguing now.
Yeah, little Fallout meets Ren and Stimpy kind of style.
I don't know Junie Ba, and I don't know her other work, Delilah. Or Delia. But it's Ice Cream Man meets Chew, so yeah.
2 books that are quite different from one another.
Yeah. Both quirky in different ways. Eric, Department of Truth selling like hotcakes for you?
It has been steady Eddie. We definitely have done quite well with it. We have the exclusives for 10, 11, 12, and 13. Those have been one of our big successes from the last year as far as exclusives go. So, yeah, I think people are intrigued. I think the interesting thing with this next arc is that it's going to deviate a little bit from kind of the story contents and story stylings of the first arc, and get a little bit more, maybe drawing a little bit more from the fictional side of things as opposed to the more historical fiction. going more into fantasy. So it'll be interesting to see how it works, but I expect that a lot of our readers will stick with it at least through the first couple issues of the next arc.
Now, did they switch artists? They're talking about Allison Sampson like it's a new artist, but I can't remember who was drawing it before.
Well, I think Martin Simmons was the artist.
That's what I thought. So somebody else. I couldn't remember the name though.
Yeah, this was one that stacked up on me. I got behind, and I need to revisit. I've heard good things from a lot of people on this, and Something is Killing the Children, another book that I've faded on. So
David Romero was doing the art originally, it looks like.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And John Pearson. It was kind of a mix and match, but I think on this issue, Allison Sampson's got interiors.
And I'm, ironically enough, this is the one I'm the most interested in what the interiors look like as we change things over on it, and it's the one they don't give us interiors for.
Yeah. I'm not reading Homesick Pilots or Monstrous. Monstrous hasn't been around for a while, has it?
It comes out infrequently. That is for sure.
This is the beginning of a new arc, so hopefully we'll get a few subsequent ones here.
Another new arc starts with Noctera. That was a solid first story arc. The first 6 was really good.
A lot of good covers.
For what?
A lot of good covers for Noctera here.
Noctera. Oh, man.
Cover B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Going deep on those.
Sweet Paprika didn't hook me like some of Merca's other stuff. I don't know if it's...
Not like Unnatural. I liked Unnatural a lot better.
Yeah.
And then we get the Aerosmith Volume 1 hardcover. So this is, I think, supposed to coincide with the new Aerosmith series that we got here. Well, it's going to be
I didn't even realize this thing existed.
Yeah, this is the first volume, which is set to release February 23rd. And the first issue of the new arc, the new series, is January 19th. So you can pick up issue 1 on the 19th and just sit on it like a penguin on an egg while you wait for the hardcover, read that, and then go back to it.
Oh.
But this will definitely be on my shelf.
And why? What's the Peter Panzerfaust connection to this?
That was, which one of those artists was it?
Carlos Pacheco, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
No, it wasn't Pacheco.
I don't think that any of these guys were involved with Peter.
Or is it just the theme of it?
That might be just thematically, okay.
Yeah, it was Curtis Weavey and Tyler Jenkins.
Yeah.
Weavey, that's right.
Yep. Oh, we got a new Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips trade for Cruel Summer.
Yep, this was a hardcover about a year and a half ago. So now we're getting the trade.
Oh, maybe I've already read it then. Yeah, I read Cruel Summer.
So this collects Criminal #1 and 5 through 12.
Mm-hmm.
So the only Ed Brubaker I've missed is Fatale.
Oh.
And I should probably go back and hit that because I've loved everything else.
You've read
Did you
Velvet?
read the new... Yes. Did you read the new Reckless that came out?
Have not read it yet. I have it on my shelf looking at it right now.
How about the one before that?
Yes.
They're great.
They are.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, in fact, my image shelf is, it's Brubaker, Vaughn, Brubaker, then more Vaughn, and then sprinkle a little Lazarus action in here, and then more Brubaker.
I'm really surprised that I think did we get 2 or 3 Reckless in 1 year?
I know we've gotten 2 this year.
Yeah.
Depending on when that first one came out, it might have been right at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's keeping a better schedule with, like, OGN hardcovers than we're getting with a quarterly Lazarus book that comes out twice a year.
Yeah, exactly. Although I complain about it, but it pulls me
It's
right
still
back in
good.
every
Yeah, I
single
know.
time.
I'm in the
It's
same
still so
boat.
good.
And I think
It's
that's what
still
hurts
so
the
good.
most. It's like it's so good. Just keep going.
Crank it out, please. My probably book of the year would be Carmen right now. The Gilliam March book is now available as a hardcover. I love this thing. This was fantastic. Great 5 issues. Well worth it. I haven't finished Made in Korea. I'm curious if they stuck the landing on it. I've enjoyed the first few, but see how it goes.
You'd been wavering on it. You enjoyed the first one, and then it seems like you were tapering as each one
The first
along.
Made in Korea?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It started stronger than it has the last couple of issues, but still good. This is not the first time we're offering the Beauty Volume 6 trade paperback, is it?
I think this is the first time for Beauty Volume 6.
Is it?
Hmm.
Okay. And it's only 3 issues? 4. 27, 28, 29, 30. 4.
And that's the end? Is that the end of it? That was
Yeah,
the wrap-up?
yeah, it ended a while ago. And then they had that one shot, like last month,
Yeah.
which was good. But it was really tough to ramp back up and remember what the status quo was for everyone, because it had been a long time. Hey Kids Comics, Volume 2, not as good as Volume 1 for me. I didn't recognize as many of the creators that Chaykin was talking about. They weren't as obvious to me, maybe just because I'm not as plugged in with some of those. And it got really kind of crowded. Tons of characters to follow in different publishers, and it's still good, and it's still I think it's worth reading. But I think the first volume was way better. Can't recommend that Texas Blood enough.
Yep.
I don't know if Jacob has his dad helping him a little bit on this, but it's visually pretty much a Sean Phillips book too. You know, it looks a lot like him. And Chris Condon's writing is very strong. What's this Generation Image thing?
I think this is just kind of page filler. These are some of the new folks that are breaking in.
Some of the new people plus Sean Lewis.
Patrick Kindlin been around.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Kubert, well, she's related. She nepotism her way into the industry. Unless she's not related to Andy or Adam or Joe in any way, then I retract that. But I'm betting she is.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
She's the daughter of Andy. Just in case you're curious.
Is she?
Yeah.
She?
Yeah.
That helps. Well, I mean, Jacob Phillips, right?
But you know what? Sometimes you just got it.
Yeah, whatever gets your door open, right?
Her art style is not her dad's. It's not her grandpa's. It's definitely modern, but it's not bad.
Eric must be working on an exclusive cover with her. He's being awfully apologetic.
Nothing imminent.
Never say never.
I can never close a door.
Yeah, we cannot disparage anybody who might one day work with the folks at Kowabunga. So.
Well, so
be nice, Kyle.
The feelings of Kyle and Drew do not directly represent any of the.
I think we've made that disclaimer a few times on this podcast.
Yeah. We definitely have to.
But for people Here's a good business tip for you. Don't burn bridges needlessly. You never know when you might need it. So you may
Well,
have a
you know
personal
what?
opinion, and that's great. Everyone's entitled to it.
Right.
Your
Keep it
business
neutral.
doesn't always need to stand behind your personal opinion. Now, there are times where it's appropriate to do that,
Yeah.
but
And you know what? Jason might be interviewing her in a future episode, a future interview episode. So I really should keep my mouth shut.
Or just look at her art and talk about it.
Don't worry about nepotism. It's okay.
That's right.
Look at Deadly Class. Love it. 51. So there's only like 2 or 3 left. Oh man, go miss that.
If only they made a long-running show out of this.
Oh, can you believe that? I'm still upset.
So stupid.
I'm still so upset that did not get picked up by anyone. I mean, it makes no sense to me. I mean, they picked up what have they picked up recently and continued that I don't understand? Like Lucifer is still going on one of the streamers after it got canceled, and it had already had like 5 or 6 seasons. Give Deadly Class some more room to grow, please. Did we hear why? We heard why got axed, right?
yep.
Yeah, why got axed, but apparently it wasn't because of numbers or ratings. It was because contracts with the actors, because everything got pushed with COVID so much. They couldn't make money work and time work and filming work necessarily.
You're kidding me.
I read an article. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because it like got recast and redid quite a few things at the 11th hour on it before they did it, and those people are not signing on to do more.
Well, I started rereading it again, and you're right, Kyle. Where are the Amazons?
I don't.
Right?
I don't want to talk. Yes, I know.
I mean-
one of the best parts of the books got thrown away in a stupid throwaway line from a dumb character. Like half the things, I've stopped watching. I'm just done.
I mean, how do you misstep that much? You know, how do you read the source material and say, no, we don't need that?
I've never been able to understand how adaptations struggle. You have a freaking storyboard.
Yeah.
You have a storyboard.
It's not. We're not
Yeah.
asking you to rewrite anything. There's a reason why people love it. Just do what's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Bring it to life is all we want.
Yeah. I just want it to be passive in front of me so I can watch it at all times and do things and see it fleshed out. I don't want your new interpretation of it with extra political garbage in it. I don't want that.
That made no sense to me, and just bogged the whole thing down.
Arr.
Yeah. I mean, Sweet Tooth.
Anyways.
Sweet Tooth, I guess, diverged a little bit from the source material, but I felt it captured the essence of the book.
Mm-hmm.
What I read of the book.
Yeah, and I guess for me, my thoughts are always, if you want to tell a different story, then don't do this book.
Don't
Do a different
don't
story.
option it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't. Well, we like the name, so we're going to option the name and write our own story.
Ugh.
There's Echoland 6. Kyle, my
and-
letter is in Echolands 3.
All
By the way.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, might have to order a copy from you, Eric, so I can get my letter.
We might be able to help you. So, out of curiosity, Drew, what's your percentage hit rate on letters written and published?
For image books, it's pretty good. It's like 50-60%, probably. For indies, back half books that say they're going to have a letters column, let you know, and they have a letters column, it's pretty good. There's not a lot of competition. Marvel, I've never been able to get in anything. DC, I don't think does any. Do they? Or I've not noticed.
Typically, no.
None that I've. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's been. It's so I do small publishers in the back half, and I do image books, and then occasionally if like something else will jump out at me because when you get to the back matter, sometimes they'll put something in there and say, "Hey, we'd love to have a letters column," and then sometimes they never actually publish a letters column. They just say they want one, and they must not get enough, or they don't like what they get.
Yeah.
I guess. But there for a while, I was in. I mean, I think I'm up to like 15 to 20 letters columns I've been in now, and a lot of them are Skybound. The editors at Skybound print a lot of my stuff, which is cool. So I was able to get into Walking Dead. I was able to get in the Michonne issue of Walking Dead, deluxe, not the original. So that was cool. I think Saga's tough because you have to physically snail mail it to them, and the timing. By the time I read,
and they have 2 years of letters backed up now.
yeah, even when it was coming out, and like for Paper Girls or any of his stuff, it was you had to do snail mail, and I could never do the timing right for by the time I read it and thought about it and found a stamp, So I never got in any of his stuff. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
If I have something good to say.
Now, I mean, we're talking Image, but I'll tell you what. Let's hold that question till we get to the end of our Image stuff, and then I have a question for you.
Okay. Good Asian.
Is the Spawn universe as big? Oh, go ahead. You're talking Good Asian.
Yeah. Good Asian's been really good.
So it's really Good Asian.
It's really, really good Asian, and I've enjoyed it a lot. And it's almost I didn't realize it was only 10 issues, so it's coming to a close.
Well, it wasn't ongoing.
Does the book just have to say crime?
I think it does.
You like it?
I think it does. And I've heard good things about the Newburn, that Chip Zdarsky crime book. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm really getting excited. There's your Gunslinger Spawn, Kyle. Go.
Yeah, is the Spawn verse as big as it seems like it is?
Yes.
The new Spawn universe?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Many a book be sold. God bless their $2.99 cover price.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Doesn't that cut into your profits, though? You make more on a $4 book than a $3 book.
I do, but I sell a lot more $2.99 books than I do the other
Really?
books. So, oh yeah, people are willing to pay $3 because it's like the cheapest thing on the shelf.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it made a difference. That's good to know.
Yeah, it does.
I just love the idea of going 300 deep on a thing and then just opening up a whole new world of it and being like, it's a universe now too. I think it's awesome.
It is awesome.
I'm excited to see Lady Mechanica at Image.
Yeah, where was that a self-published book?
It was, yeah. Joe was self-publishing it, so it's kind of exciting to see it here. And they've started reprinting, republishing. I think they did a hardcover for the first volume. The stories are good. Like reading Lady Mechanica books. If you're not a steampunk fan, then it's probably not for you. But the cool things about the Lady Mechanica books to me are the art is gorgeous. It's very detailed. There's a lot of time and effort put into it. But the story itself, like, there's a lot of words on the page in the right way. It's not fluff. It's not waste. There's a lot of meat on the bones. And so, like, when you read a Lady Mechanica issue, you get your money's worth out of it. Like, it's entertaining you, and there's a lot of content there. And I appreciate that because so many books nowadays, it's 22 pages, there's 3-4 word balloons per page, and you've buzzed through the book in 4.5 minutes. And that's not the case with Lady Mechanica. Like, if you stop and take a little look at the art and the backgrounds of what's going on, and then by the time you read all of the word balloons, you're talking, 10, 15 minutes to really soak in an issue. Sometimes more.
Cool.
So I cannot recommend it enough. Now, again, if you really don't like steampunk, then it's probably not for you. But if you've never read steampunk, or you're open to it, and you haven't tried Lady Mechanica, I would recommend going and seeing if you can get the first volume just to kind of learn about the character and kind of get a feel for the area or the kind of the world that she's in.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. I like stuff like that. This What's the Furthest Place from Here? I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to dig my mitts into this. Kyle, you remember how wild I was about 4 kids walking into a bank, right?
Absolutely.
You liked it too, didn't you?
I very much did.
Yeah. And having those guys back together, whatever they're doing. And they're double sized in the 3rd issue. Who does that? 48 pages? That's awesome. They got a Chip Zdarsky 1 in 50. That's cool. That's cool. And I love the vinyl thing they're doing. That's just great. I'm excited.
What page are you on?
I'm on
88.
the end.
Oh, you skipped like 900 things.
I did. But yeah, feel free. Touch on whatever. Walking.
I do like the Saturday Evening Post cover for that Nita Hawk's Nightmare Blog 4. That's one of my favorite of the ones they've been doing for those.
Oh, I missed that one. What page was that?
79. It's just a tiny picture, so it's easy to miss.
Oh,
Scumbag.
yeah, okay.
Scumbag 13 doing the Jaws homage cover.
Yeah, that's not bad. That book's out there.
I know the Stray Dogs horror, but I don't know the Stray Dogs horror. I'm horrible.
Isn't that Carrie?
I think so.
Was that not Carrie? Well, no, it might be Halloween.
I don't know.
It might be Halloween.
The font jumping out. I don't know.
Yeah, the font's weird.
So you off Walking Dead Deluxe or down to 1?
Off.
I was gonna say,
but
I know the answer to that.
But well, I mean, I came back in for 27 local comic shop day.
You did.
Yeah,
Yep.
I might pop back for milestone issues. That's all I had.
So the question that I was going to ask is, do you guys feel like the back half has been bringing a little bit more heat lately than they were? Because sales
of AWA and Aftershock,
sales in the store are really showing that AWA, Vault, Aftershock.
The new heavy metal stuff.
Yes, the new heavy metal stuff has been great. AWA and heavy metal have been kind of big surprises in a great way.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I prefer all of those that you mentioned over Dynamite, IDW, maybe not Boom, and Image, of course,
Dark
is
Horse.
number one. Dark Horse, over Dark Horse. I mean, none of those publishers are doing anything for me, and so yeah, I turned to the AWAs and Aftershock and.
Yeah, I'll look when I open a previews. I'll go through Image, and then I'll go directly to Aftershock.
Mad Cave. Man, there's a lot of them back there that are really, really crushing it.
Behemoth is starting to turn out some books, and people are starting to jump on them. Trying to think.
Is Behemoth the one that has the weird layouts on their ads for their books?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
I'll never find it.
Well, that's why I have this here paper catalog.
Yeah.
Behemoth.
Yeah, it's like they put it was. I think it was Behemoth. They put the issue numbers on the bottom. It's just strange.
Yeah, it looks relatively normal on this one.
Okay, it wasn't them then.
I don't think it was them.
But yeah, there's a lot of quality in the back half, and I think they need to rethink who's a premier publisher and who's not. I mean, unless those licensed property books are just flying off the shelves, and I'm just not the audience for them. I don't see them as premier publishers anymore.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to do a shameless plug for a couple things here, if I can. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so just a couple of little snippets and tidbits on Valiant. They're obviously we're partnering with them for a lot of exclusives. This week we had our Harbinger one Bob Layton cover, which is an homage to one of his old Iron Man covers that he did. It is a first appearance of a new character, and actually our cover, our books for this one, we upgraded the paper stock on the cover, so it's actually a thick cardstock cover. They turned out
Hmm.
gorgeous. So we have those, but then a lot of people know that we did the Shadow Man first arc that Cullen Bunn wrote with Jenny Prison covers. This previews has the start of the second arc, and it is. I highly recommend people pick up the first arc. I do know that the standard trade sold through completely at Diamond, so they're looking at going back to print. We have an exclusive book one that we still have some stock of, but I highly recommend people read the first Cullen Bunn arc and get ready for this next one because this next one is going to be killer. He is doing some super cool things in this next arc with all of the characters from Deadside, and that's all I can give away, other than to say if you like horror, if you like voodoo, and anything that has to do with that
Hmm.
kind of genre and feel, do yourself a favor, pick this stuff up and read it. You don't have to be a huge, Valiant, lifelong fan to get into it. You don't have to really know the characters. You'll be introduced to them as you need to. So yeah, just high recommendations there.
Fantastic.
And it's Cullen Bunn. I think that should say enough.
He's a prolific guy. He writes a lot of stuff.
He does.
Hey Kyle, let's go over to cover price.
All right, well, let's head over to cover price and see some of the secondary market movement on items. I will, of course, look at the top 10, starting with number 10, the Philadelphia number 12 Todd McFarlane cover. Talked about this one last week as well. McFarlane lending his cover talents to another book always moves things. High sale of $45 raw on this one. So, not too shabby. A couple weeks out from release on that. Here with rank 9, we have Superman Son of Kal-El, number 2, the In-Hyuk Lee cover. As we noted last week, this issue features the first appearance of Jay Nakamura, with whom John Kent will explore his bisexuality in issue number 5. So, a lot of those books continue to move on the secondary market. This one continuing to move 35 copies. High sale of 23 for a raw copy, and it looks like our good friends at Cover Price are telling us that fair is FMV. I'm assuming is fair market value, or
Sounds right to me.
because they're marking things with an FMV of 16. I assume that's kind of an aggregate average of the sell price for those 35 copies. So, at rank 8, we have Captain Marvel 27 from 1973. Okay, so this is a tough one to do without spoilers, so let's do this. This issue features the full appearance of Eros, brother of Thanos, who's later called Star Fox. So we've heard a few things about Star Fox, and this is the reason. This one's coming up, of course, not the Nintendo Star Fox, but other things like that. So 28 copies moving on the secondary market, and a high sale of $420 for a CGC 8.0. So we haven't seen the big dogs selling at the moment, so we'll be curious when those first 9.8s and 9.6s move on those ones as well. At rank 7, we have She-Hulk number 6 from 2006. And yes, we have more Eros. This is simply modern Eros, covered by Greg Land, that suddenly became popular as collectors raced to buy their favorite key books and covers. Selling 12 copies on the secondary market and $46 for a raw. More Superman Son of Kal-El at rank 6. And back to Jonathan Kent all that stuff there continues to do that. 49 copies, a CGC 9.8, hitting 150 now on that one already. At rank 5, we have Gun Honey #1, the second print. Gun Honey makes it back to the list. However, instead of Adam Hughes, we have this hard-to-find second print by Robert McGinnis, limited to an estimated 2,000 copies. 23 on the market. High sale of 75 and a fair market value or whatever, the aggregate being 44.
Yeah, this book. The cover stock is.
I assumed it was just going to be the Hughes stuff. It was just going to be Hughes, and that was going to be the only thing. But it looks like they've continued to pull it out and make more money off second prints, and have some great covers for 3 and 4.
This second print is just a version of the B cover of the first issue, and it is limited to 2,000. But the cover stock on it was pure poop.
Oh, yeah, so getting a good copy is going to be even harder.
It's just the ones that we got were half diamond damaged, and then the other half had, like, weird cover finish on it. Yeah, they're not... If you find high-grade copies, there's not going to be a ton of those out there.
Gotcha. At rank 4, Warlock and the Infinity Watch #1 from 1992. No longer a $1 this 90s staple is having its best month ever. Due to being the cheapest and most accessible Warlock book, it made this week's list again, 45 copies moving, and a high sale of $35 for Near Mint Raw, and a lot of them going for around $22. Not bad for a $1 book. At rank 3, we got Superman, Son of Kal-El, this time #2, the first appearance of Jonathan Kett's new love interest. So we've got multiple books on that. This one moving 69 copies. High sale of 29 for Raw, and most of them going for around 20. So if you got 1, they're selling. If you got 2, they're selling. If you got 3, they're selling. If you got other covers of 2, they're selling. You name it. And at rank 2, Avengers 232 from 1983. And now we officially get the first appearance of Eros as Star Fox. As Eros joins the Avengers, the Wasp gives him the moniker, stating the inspiration, you're a pretty foxy guy and you've been out among the stars. What a wonderful way to get a nickname. This issue took off in a big way this week, moving 65 copies on the secondary market, and an all-time high of $950 for a CGC 9.8. Dang. And at rank 1, World War Hulk.
Kyle, before you do that one,
yep.
Are you going to Google the spoiler to find out what it is?
No,
because
I'm not.
You don't mind spoilers.
I don't.
So I don't know what the spoiler is. Eric, I'm assuming you do because you're plugged in.
Yep.
Okay. Is it a big deal?
I guess I don't know. For those that want it to be a big deal, it's a huge deal. For those that don't want it to be a big deal, it's minuscule. And for the rest of us,
Gotcha.
It's interesting. It's fun and exciting.
Okay.
I always hate that when people say, like, is it a big deal? It's like, I don't know, it's relative.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Go ahead, Kyle. Finish her up.
And at rank 1, World War Hulk #1 from 2007. Recently posted an article saying that GWW has learned that Hulk movie is on the way and is currently being called World War Hulk. A new solo Hulk film starting production in late 2022. So that's caused this one to move quite a bit. 68 copies on the secondary market. Raw is going for around 47 for their aggregate value. And at one of them PGX 9.9s, going for 180.
Now, the people at Geeks Worldwide, that's like the Washington Post of the internet, right? I've never heard of them. So why do we care?
I don't know
why do they have clout to say this and it gets it to #1?
Hey, you got to say a couple things and things will start to move.
Now, if they would have said the guys from Comics and Fun and Profit,
but that's a reputable source.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, you want to do the bottom 10?
I can do that. All right, so at number 11, we have Phoenix Song Echo #1, the Vega variant. Art aficionados should instantly recognize this as an homage to the iconic The Kiss painting by Gustav Klimt. This is a homage in comics that's fairly untapped, but that's probably going to change after this variant's aftermarket success. It sold 25 copies, 7-day trend of 88%, high sale of $55 for raw, with a fair market value of 44 bones.
That is a good idea. I mean, so if you do stuff like the Scream and other iconic paintings that are sitting in museums, that'd be a good series of homage covers. You know, do a Mona Lisa, do some others. That'd be good. I like that.
Yeah,
and only those of us that read our comics with our pinkies in the air would know what they were.
The first Venom, that gets turned into the Mona Lisa. That'll be interesting.
That would be great.
Oh yeah.
All right, number 12, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine number 1 from 1984. This issue features the first appearance of Ogun, Wolverine's telepathic mentor. This one might be a bit delayed, however. There are some comic folks out there stating that one of the characters in the Hit Monkey trailer looks like Ogun. We'll have to wait and see, but still amazing how it sold 34 copies, a 7-day trend of 104%, with a high sale of $160 for CGC 98.
I bet you've got 5 of these from quarter sales in a box.
Yeah, but all raw.
Yeah.
They don't have raw prices on here.
Not for that one.
Next up, number 13, Gun Honey number 1, Adam Hughes trade dress. There was a lot of pre-launch excitement around this title. This was specifically to the Adam Hughes cover that really captured the market's attention. While a virgin and virgin foil is the most desired, this trade dress cover still sold 16 copies, had a 7-day trend of 213%, and a high sale of $19.99 for a raw copy. And last week's Thor number 18 comes in at number 14. Donny Cates brings the Thor Frog, damn it, front and center once again, helping you with 36 copies of this cover with a 7-day trend of 90% and a high sale of $10 for a raw copy. No stranger.
Now, why aren't they doing the fair market value on the bottom 10?
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't do it for all of them, and you'll see number 20 has it in it for these, but some of them they're giving us.
Okay.
I don't know what it's settling at, or they may not have enough information.
Yeah, okay.
For number 15, we've got Venom Lethal Protector number 1. Certainly a book that every one of us has seen multiple times over. But as seen from Venom Let There Be Carnage, Venom has officially taken on the name of Lethal Protector. This origination of the moniker sold 25 copies, had a 7-day trend of 102%, and a high sale of $209 for CGC 9.8. And number 16, we have the Vigilante number 1 from 1983. After the Vigilante appeared in the HBO Peacemaker trailer, the market quickly bought up his first appearance in New Teen Titans Annual number 2, and this first ongoing solo series. It sold 24 copies, had a 7-day trend of 102%, and a high sale of $198.50 for CGC 9.8. Number 17, we've got Superman 53. During DC Fandom, Jim Lee announced that the Superman mantra for truth, justice, and the American way would be changing to for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. The old slogan is featured on this cover, which is enough to move 25 copies sold with a 7-day trend of 93% and a high sale of $164.50 for CGC 9.8.
That's crazy.
What the heck, Jim Lee? Jeez.
Yeah, that kind of cheesed off a few people in the store. Number 18, The Eternals number 1 from 1976. With Marvel's Eternals weeks away, the market continues to buy up copies of this key first team appearance as excitement for the film builds. It sold 26 copies, 7-day trend of 86%, and had a high sale of $2,750 for CGC 9.8.
This thing,
for such a high-end book, that thing's been moving for months and years.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be just a few moves and then it'd be out of everybody's price range for moving it, but it's gone back and forth a ton.
It has.
Well, it's out of my price range, but yeah, it's definitely continues. And the fact that, like, the buzz around this film is all over the place. Like, for a while, it was just like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. This is great, great, great. Now there's a bunch of backlash about it, and it hasn't even come out yet. I mean, right? Is it out yet?
Not yet.
No. We still got another month almost.
My goodness. Simmer down.
We going to a theater for that one?
I don't think so.
Okay, moving on.
All right. Next up, we have Amazing Fantasy 7 from 2005. This issue features the first appearance of Scorpion, Carmilla Black, and Monica Rappaccini, Scientist Supreme. While Monica has already appeared on MODOK, her daughter Carmilla might be driving sales for her first appearance at the Scorpion. There doesn't seem to be any rumors around an MCU appearance, but that didn't stop it from selling 21 copies, with a 7-day trend of 116% and a high sale of $400 for a CGC 98. Not bad for a book from 2005.
Yeah, it's a cool looking cover too.
Yeah, and number 20, Thor 18, Nick Klein, 1 in 25 variant. For the return of Throg comes the return of Throg variants. This 1 in 25 was difficult to find in stores since many shops underordered this issue. How did they do that? How could... This was an easy one to order, people. It was a frickin' frog on the cover. It sold 20 copies, had a 7-day trend of 109%, and a high sale of $31.54 for a raw copy. If you missed this book, you turn in your retailer badge. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember Throg popping off when we had the Thor's book where we had the team up of them doing detective work.
Like, I get it. Everybody has to run their store their own way, but really? It's just certain things where I just kind of have to scratch my head.
Now let's head on over to our FOC provided by Eric, our guest here, for Deep Discount Comics. You can get on that pre-order list by clicking on the bit.ly link in our show notes, or reach out to Eric directly, Eric at kowabungacomics.com. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah, and that gets you both on the FOC list and the pre-order list, or just the FOC list?
Both lists.
Both lists. Fantastic. And you can get one of these beautifully curated FOC emails each and every week. It's fantastic.
Yeah. As Image starts to go to no second prints and some of these get pushed out a little bit more, we talked about the importance of FOC getting more and more important to people making their orders.
Especially when your brother doesn't send his order in on time.
I lose track of days and things.
So then we have to do everything FOC because he's lazy.
Can we just go with stupid instead of lazy?
Stupid. What? Okay, you're not lazy?
Okay, so let's start in DC.
I'd rather be stupid than lazy, he says. The greatest.
That's right. One of them I can't control. One of them you might make me correct. I jumped down to the Marguerite Sauvage Gotham City Villains Anniversary Giant. A couple of those, and then looking at Dan Moray here. Some really good covers on these.
And
yeah.
The DC vs. Vampires Matina cover is...
Yeah.
That is something.
I cannot wait for that book. I'm psyched for it. It's going to be great.
Man, that is a really cool cover.
Bermejo is still crushing it on the B cardstock covers for Detective.
I love how his Batman, like, you look at the legs, the boots, the feet, and it's like, oh, that looks like a real dude, vaulting over, whether it's a headstone or a piece of wall or whatever it is. But, like, you just feel like it's actually a person.
Yes. Now, this Gotham City Villains Anniversary Giant, I didn't know this was coming out. This is sweet. I like a lot of these covers. The Mad Hatter's pretty amazing.
And we were talking about that DC versus Vampires. We were talking about that Matina. We also have the option for the silver foil local comic shop day version of it as well for pre-order here as well. So I love the cover, but I think I'd love it even more with the silver foil.
I gotta back us up a little bit because there's people that are specking on single issues, but there's also people that come to you too, fine gentlemen, just for comics awareness. And so for those folks, Flash Jeff Johns Omnibus Volume 3 is on FOC this week, and that's definitely a Flash run that we've sold a lot of.
Good discount. Order it, you get $40 off, so you can't beat that.
Darn right.
Task Force C is going to be fun. Going to enjoy that one too.
That one also having a local comic shop day variant on there. I like those.
The $5?
$10.
$10. Ooh, ouch.
It's real silver in that foil.
Series
Derek
of
Chu continuing to give me really fun Harley B covers.
Yeah, he does.
I really like this one.
Now, I'm not sure who Uncivilized Books are, but they have a book called West #1 by John Grund. Has that publisher done a lot?
I think they are the newest publisher that Lunar signed.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's part of the Lunar. Okay.
Yeah, because they have a book on issue 9 already. A $6 book.
Interesting.
Well, they're both $6 books.
And a nice Jenny Frison Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's nice. Recount #1 going to a 3rd print.
Where are we at?
It's got the scout portion of Lunar.
Oh, that's Scout. Okay.
And Kings of Vengeance looked interesting as well. From Scout. I don't have the solicit on it, but it seemed like a neat book when I was looking at that.
I can.
A vexed warrior who was once a loving father and husband is brought back to life 25 years later and proceeds to avenge himself on the demons responsible for all his killing. From the creator of the hit Scout series Once Our Land, which I super loved. So, well, I liked the first few. I think I lost interest, but I enjoyed it from the beginning of it. I'm trying to think. I was like, wait, I think I tailed off on it, but I did really enjoy Once Our Land.
Loved it for a while. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, you love it for a while.
So, A King's Vengeance.
What's next, fellas?
Sorry, I keep clicking on things that just intrigue me, like Critical Role, and just looking at a few different covers.
Yeah, as I say, are we down to Dark Horse next?
Yeah,
Yep.
Let's keep rolling.
Bendis with Joy Operations. So we got kind of a future book here.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate-owned cities that is a centerpiece of our modern society.
David McBee cover.
I'm so far down. I'm out. This is a big FOC.
It is.
How are these Stranger Things books selling? Does anybody care? Because it doesn't seem like they've been very compelling with some of the storylines on them. Like this current thing, I could see where it was kind of aping like Goonies type stuff with it. But
The first.
is there any meat to that
Yeah,
bone?
the first arc sold well, and it's kind of tailed off each one since.
Gotcha.
For those that like artist editions, Dave Stevens' Rocketeer artist edition is solicited. That's beautiful stuff. If you like that original art, it's beautiful.
There's been some heat on Rocketeer lately as well. So I'm into IDW already.
Yep. I'm getting to the end of it. Just a lot of licensed stuff, Transformers, and then Usagi Yojimbo continues to add folks every issue. More and more
With
people
the
jumping on it.
with the color
recoloring.
versions.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think it's one of those titles that has run long enough that there's a new generation interested in it now, and then the old generation that got the black and whites is coming back for the colors. So we're kind of seeing two merging into one, which is really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Second issue of Gunslinger Spawn into some of the Image books. Friday, #1, a local comic shop version of that Ed Brubaker book.
Now, what is that? I'm not familiar with that.
It's Christmas Vacation from Hell. So yeah, I'm not.
That's Ed
necessarily familiar with it
Brubaker?
either.
Yep, with Marcos Martin. So
Wow.
is this
That's old, right?
the was this done on Panel Syndicate?
That's what I
Oh,
was trying to read.
okay. That makes sense.
Special collector's issue on it.
Yes, Friday.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Friday is a Panel Syndicate item.
That's cool.
There's 4 issues of it.
Spawn not doing the bundles anymore. Just 2 covers and moving on. We're getting a little bogged down. It seems like with the Spawn universe.
Well, paper
Yeah,
doing a
shortages and
little
all.
less. There you go. They were listening to Drew. Let's do a few less covers.
They're just trying to be respectful to everybody.
Absolutely.
Do we like the let's put Peter Parker on the shelf and bring back the clone guy storyline in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I'm just happy.
I don't remember it working great the first time. The Ben Reilly stuff.
Yeah, I thought it worked well before. I don't know.
I didn't mind it when he had his own book. I dipped in for a couple different storylines, but
Yeah.
it's just not there for me.
Did I tell you this was like a 19-parter?
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's gonna be long in the tooth by the time it's over. You'll be sick of it.
Yeah. And it's just like, do we really need a sweatpants wearing Spider-Man?
Devil's Reign. I'm curious how that does. How excited people are for that Daredevil event thing. Was it Darsky on the cover or taking over the helm?
Don't have our Momoko covers yet. Don't have a few other covers. Don't have a lot of the covers there. Conan the Barbarian is our facsimile edition for this one. The old Roy Thomas, Barry Windsor Smith cover from 1970 is our facsimile offering from Marvel.
Is that Lubera a 1 in 50? Moon Knight #6?
I can tell you if I can find it. It is a 1 in 25.
Why are you bending me over for $35, Eric?
Let me rephrase that.
love him
It's
so.
a 1 in 25 on a popular series that I have to buy a lot of ratios on.
I gotcha.
A lot of people collecting a lot of covers on
I
those.
can't lose all the money. I can only lose some of it.
I don't know what the Devil's Reign villain variant is, but that's one of those things that won't have anything to do with Moon Knight, correct?
Yeah, unless he's in it. Unless he's in that event. You know, he's street level. He could be in it for sure.
Okay.
But yeah,
So you're saying there's a chance?
there's a chance for sure. Yeah, we saw. You know, the first issue of Moon Knight did like 200,000, right? And then issue 2 down to 90 some, but it's still like the second, third, fourth bestseller for that month. I don't know what 3 did. I'm thinking it fell off again.
Well, was that the one that we all were going back for Hunter's Moon?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if it got pre-ordered. So
Now we're getting less and less cover art for Marvel at FOC. They just getting lazy on us?
No,
or
this
they
is
wanting to surprise
this
us?
is part of that whole thing where they're trying to move up a few FOC dates to allow for the paper situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's all tied with that.
yeah, these are just a lot of these are December 1st or December 8th books.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like a ridiculous amount of lead time compared to what it used to be.
Yep.
And the unfortunate thing is we're just not getting art on some of these variants and some of these things I really want to see.
Yeah. So really no reason to, I guess, hold out.
Yeah. There's no warranted advantage to the FOC like there sometimes is where you see art and you're like, now it's time to pull the trigger.
Yeah. I still like the idea of waiting and pondering some of these ideas. What is the podcast variant for the Wastelanders Hawkeye? Are we on the cover, Kyle?
We'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be awesome. But Wastelanders is the new old man, right?
Correct. It's the new Old Man Logan verse.
Yep.
And we say we don't want to call it Old Man anymore because, why?
We want to introduce young characters in these Old Man verses. So we have these places that are split up into different regions and everything, and they just want to be able to tell the stories, not necessarily centered around old people.
That was the best part of it.
Yeah, and they did all that already. They've checked that box. Now it's time to do some different stuff.
Oh, okay.
Now, is Star Wars High Republic outselling the standard Star Wars books?
Oh,
still?
yeah.
Gotcha. Figured.
Why? I don't understand that.
It's a new storyline, whole new untouched area.
Storyline, new characters.
Get it on the
kinds of
ground
fun
floor.
stuff.
People
and it's
are
been better written.
Yeah, people are getting a little. I think after seeing the latest trilogy of movies and everything, I think people are ready for some new Star Wars content instead of kind of sticking with the Skywalker saga stuff. So,
Yeah, that works.
I still like a lot of the stuff they've done in the Darth Vader series, where they went back and tracked down, Padme's, body double and a few other cool things they've done in that series. So there's still some meat on some of those bones, but for me, it's been the High Republic in here and the IDWs that have been the things to see. Even more so than I was disappointed in what I haven't finished up the Bounty Hunter series, but it just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't anything I cared too much about.
Right.
When it was all said and done.
You done with Marvel?
No, Kevin Eastman doing a cover for The Thing #2.
Oh.
And it's almost in a Ninja Turtles style. He's in kind of the trashy alleyway of the Ninja Turtles. So
Oh, that's cool.
I like that a lot. Okay, down into some of our smaller publishers where we see artists, writers, and artisans in black masks, booms, and vaults.
Fight Girls has just been a huge seller for us.
Yeah, I missed out on that.
The Frank Cho.
Completely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to revisit that, I guess. I'm interested in
Marjorie Finnegan's and Ennis book. And then
this
Moths has been a
good.
good one from J. Michael Straczynski.
What is it?
Moths.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is an awesome cover on that Marjorie Finnegan Temporal Criminal.
I'm interested in this Good Boy by SourcePoint Press. I don't really know the creators, Garrett Gunn, Christina Blanche, Kit Wallace, but it's set.
Jesus, how far did you jump down?
So much for House of Slaughter. Just a small thing that most people are going for.
Do we have to? I mean, can't we bounce around? Is there a rule? Is there a rule?
We absolutely can.
Is there a rule that we have to go line by line?
I was in the same
just
spot.
took me a while.
And I have to listen to Kyle breathe into the mic while he reads? No. I can skip around. Jesus. This is no more threesomes. You guys ganging up on me.
Again, phrasing.
Thruples.
Context is everything. Someone's going to cut that and it's going to come back and bite us.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Anyway, so the SourcePoint Press book, Good Boy, it's set in a world where humans and dogs are equals. I like that. So they're like just as tough as everybody else. That's gonna be fun. I think that'll be a cool one. And I missed that during the pre-order cycle. So thank God for the FOC.
Yeah. Harbinger pre-order bundle edition. So, were you ordering the whole 1 through 5 or whatnot ahead of time for that, or how did that work?
No, what they're doing is they're making so they're overprinting the runs for these. So certain issues they're putting back on to FOC to allow you to order it. They can't guarantee anything beyond the initial order, but they are putting some extra stock up to make available.
Nice.
Which I've read the new issue of Harbinger that came out this week, and it's very solid. Ninjak was a little less than what I think most people were hoping, but Harbinger's been good. And obviously, like I said earlier, the Cullen Bunn Shadow Man stuff's really good. So Valiant's starting to round the corner and bring a little more oomph, which is awesome.
Hey Kyle,
Very cool.
look at the Invincible Red Sonja number 6 FOC bonus homage.
FOC bonus, which cover
The
number? Which cover
TMNT.
Oh, the TMNT, yeah.
Yeah, this is the third week in a row with the TMNT homage covers.
Yeah, they had about 6 of these, I think, that they were going to put out with the whole skyline. I think that's a really cool idea.
You should have gobbled these up.
Yeah. It was one of those in for a penny, and like I said, I think there was 6 or 7 of them.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, that's a lot of pennies.
That's right.
Look at
So
Yeah, because Barbarella has one here, too, available. And that one's less interesting. I don't like that one as well. All right. I am going to ask what the item for FOC is, what you have to have, what you have to make sure you order, even if you don't have art for, but you got to make sure you get it because you don't want to chase it.
I'm going to go with Good Boy, number 1.
Where is that?
How about Eric? You want to play?
yeah. Oh boy.
I'm going with a King's Vengeance from Scout myself.
King's Vengeance from Scout.
Yeah. King's Vengeance number 1.
Oh man. There's a lot to go through here.
There it is.
Just as a little helpful hint, we'll be doing the same thing again when we get to the sneak peek. So you'll be on the hot seat again in about 5 to 10 minutes.
That's fine. So I don't know what it is. but for some reason, I keep looking at Invincible Red Sonja number 6, cover F, 10 copy. This
I don't know, Kyle. Is that allowed?
my damn
Yes,
list. It's
yes.
allowed.
I've always allowed that.
It's my list. It's allowed. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
That is a very good cover. I do really like it.
Which one are we looking at?
Cover F, the 10 copy inside.
Cover F.
Cover F. Man, I don't even see it.
He will allow it. Did you make it? Did you forget?
I can't find the damn thing. I can't find it.
It's under I for Invincible Red Sonja down in the Dynamite.
It's the Cohen trade dress. That one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you're our guest, I'll break the rules. Oh wow, that's not a cosplay cover?
I mean, that's a person, but
We've gotten really good with digital.
I don't know. There's something about
Yeah,
it
okay.
that some of these covers with the Invincible Red Sonja have been, pretty popular and starting to pop. The artist, which one is it? Selena, I want to say. Is that right? Yeah, Selena, like the cover C. These covers have been getting really popular. It's kind of having a Perillo effect. So I don't know. Something about it. It speaks to me.
When you like it and it looks good, normally you go with your gut. You're not the only one.
Yeah, this is Carla Cohen. She's good. I like that.
Very cool. All right, we've looked at some FOC, so I'm going to take us over to the Hot 10 list over at our good friends at comicbookinvest.com. I'm going to pull up their October 29th, 2021 list. And I think it's very funny on this blurb, so I'm going to start at number 1. We have the Wonder Woman Black and Gold number 5, the Rose Besh 1 in 25 variant. Well, if you can get past these spaghetti arms, I guess I can see why this one is doing well. $85 to $100 already. Honest opinion for real on Besh. I feel like she is the modern day Rob Liefeld. People jumping on the bandwagon, and in 10 years they will hate these. Maybe I have just turned up to Mr. Fredrickson from Up. So.
That the old guy?
Yeah, the old guy. I did like the one Rose Besh a lot for the silk one, but
Some have been okay. I've liked some of them.
now he's going to have me critiquing every little arm and foot, so thanks a lot.
Yeah.
At rank 2, we have Captain Marvel number 17 from 2004, the first full Flyvel. The price has jumped from $30 to $40 to $125. I know you people probably hate me for hating on these ridiculously priced jumps that are solely because of some random person's quote-unquote spec pick. Looking at you, Drew. But come on, folks, how many of these spec picks end up being solid investments? Is it time for me to change the rules on what goes on these lists? Possibly. A lot of flash in the pan stuff, a lot of weird stuff. At rank 3, we have X-Men number 95 from 1999. Reports that the Skrull named Fizz has been cast for Secret Invasion has caused this book to jump from $2 to more than $20. If Talos' First is only a $12 book, why would you pay $20 for this dude? At least $20-ish sounds more reasonable of a jump for some books. At rank 4, we have Old Haunts number 1. That's our artists, writers, and artisans books. No sales at all, and now selling for $30. While the story does sound interesting, saying that this is an option is a bit misleading. The publisher AWA is producing the movie internally, meaning it may never see the light of day, and even if it does, who knows where you can actually see it. Grain of salt. At rank 5, we have Once and Future, number 21, the John Boy Myers 1 in 25 variant. Similar to last month, once the cheap pre-sales were scooped up, all that was left over are copies selling for 3 times the ratio. Only a couple of these are even available on eBay, so if you want one, you may have to pony up more than you really want to. House of Slaughter number 1 at the 6th rank. There is a Chris Sheehan 1 per store variant. Is now going for between 30 and 40. A massive print run on this series and a ton of store variants, so people are drawn to the 1 per store variant, assuming that the print run would be capped. Any comment on this spin-off and the story?
It's interesting. I think there's only supposed to be 3 store exclusives for this. There's a there was a Boom did a thing where you had to send an email at an exact specific time, like at noon, and if you sent it a second too early, you were disqualified. And the first 3 emails they got the exclusives.
Wow!
Did you participate?
No.
You don't play that game.
They had very high print run requirements for this.
Interesting. At rank 7, Marvel book. Next Wave, Agents of Hate, number 1, a Warren Ellis book. Over $50 for Raw, and 9.8s are over $300. Elsa Bloodstone is crazy hot, and this awesome book is her current incarnation's first. Bloodstone number 1 is still the book to get, but it's nice to see this book getting some love. Finding a high-grade copy is more difficult than you might think.
Man, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I don't know Agents of Hate at all. At rank 8, we have Deadpool number 2 from 2020, just last year. The Merca Indolfo number 2, 1 in 25 variant. Multiple 9.8 sales this week, as this is now approaching a $400 book. As was stated at number 7, you get your hands on any Bloodstone at the moment. Unfortunately, there just isn't much out there. So, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know this existed either.
And Black Widow number 12 that just came out, $10 to $15. The first appearance of Living Blade. Anyone else find it weird that Black Widow comics keep going when she is dead in the MCU, but still continue to go up? Even with the lawsuit thing, I still don't buy it, and that, quoting Miracle Max, she is only mostly dead.
I wonder if he makes the same comment about Iron Man comics being in existence.
Yeah. I think they settled the lawsuit. At rank 10, Incredible Hulk 92. Only mentioning this here because the price of 9.8s moved from $225 to $275 to $300. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10 that a Planet Hulk movie was coming. This rumor would be a 1.5. Down to some honorable mentions, we have Sabrina, Something Wicked, number 1. The Peach Momoko variant capped at 300 copies. Over $100 for Raw. Anyone else notice that Kelly Thompson has 3 books on the list this week? These nostalgic cover homages do very well. They do extra well when they are super low print runs. What other non-comic homages do you think we should see? And from our cool little OG old titles here, we have Suspense Comics number 2. A $1,500 1.5 and a $2,000 2.0 both occurred in the past 10 days. No other sales in the past 2 years other than these. What is going on this cover? But I will give props to the woman for being able to run Usain Bolt style while in those 3-inch heels. So, very cool.
I like that. It's a nice cover. 10-cent book. Yep. Pretty sweet.
Neat stuff. Some weird stuff on the secondary market.
Yeah.
A lot of people's choices in the books to grab nowadays is driving me up the wall.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a weird reasons that they have and justifications for them.
Which is like the Hawkeye thing is where it started bothering me, where we're grabbing the Hawkeye ones from her single series instead of like, oh, this whole show is going to be kind of based on the Fraction series. Why not go into the Fraction series where we should be putting our money into those things that I think, but I don't know. Never mind.
How do you really feel?
Yeah.
I know. That's the kind of thing that I just don't get. Where they're like, oh, this is a number one. Who cares? It's not a very well written, but it's her number one on her quote unquote flagship series. I don't get it. But people put their money where they want to.
Yep. Sneak peek time. Let's go over to Lunar and see what DC has coming out. Well, DC and Scout, and what's the new one they just added?
Oh, there's like a Z2.
Uncivilized.
There's people.
Yeah. So when Lunar adds them, are they exclusive? So then is Scout out of Diamond's?
No, Scout is still a Diamond.
So it's just a secondary distributor?
I guess. I think that's the plan.
That's weird.
So we're looking at some of our DC. I'm sorry, I'm looking at FOC for some odd reason.
I am enjoying both the Superman 78 and the Batman 89 throwback series. They're pretty good. What is the world of some of this stuff? Holy moly.
So this Dark Knights of Steel #1, we talked about this in a few FOCs a bit ago. This is the Tom Taylor written medieval take on the Justice League. I'm very curious how they're going to do this, what they're going to do this, in what way this is going to be balanced, or
It'll be
things
great.
like this.
It'll be great.
So it's Tom Taylor. It's out of continuity Elseworld stuff, so I am a huge fan of what he's going to do here, as long as every character isn't gay now, or whatever he's going to put in it just for fun. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. And that, was it called My Bad? Is that what the Mark Russell book? That looks really good, too. I've lost it. Where the hell was it?
I didn't see anything. Yeah, My Bad right there. Mark Russell, Bryce Ingram with art by Peter Krause.
Oh, right by it. Yeah, I like that. That looks really good. Of course, I've read a lot of Mark Russell, so...
Yeah, I'm on the 8th dot, and it's the last item on that one.
That's all I had. You got anything, Eric?
No, nothing else.
All right,
These Swamp Thing covers are really cool, and we see they're trying to pull in some more Why the Last Man TV tie-in cover, a $60, collecting the first 31 issues. So, where Valiant once existed, we have relabeled it as Black Label to make a little bit of money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, over to Previews World, where we start with our Image books.
We got a thing called Truth leading it off.
LGBTQ road trip.
You forgot the plus.
Plus. Sorry. Not woke enough.
We'll let it slide this time. You got your good Asian #6 coming out here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Newburn. Man, it's going to be a tough call this week. Dang. I'm so excited about that Newburn, too.
Yeah. That one does sound really good.
Mark Millar giving us another 6 issues of Magic Order. I don't think I read the first one.
I didn't like it, but it could have been just my mood at the time. But I think I only got through half of it. I lost interest.
Did you stick with Did you stick with these silver coins, Drew?
No, I dropped off after 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This is the first one that's the covers interested in me. We have a not only that, but we have a nail biter pinball machine on the front, so that always makes me happy.
Oh, that is cool.
So
Yeah. A lot of Dune stuff. Either one of you guys watched Dune yet?
Not yet.
It's right there on.
myself either, yeah.
It's sitting on the old HBO Max. I gotta watch it before it goes. I think they only get it for a couple weeks. I missed that Clint Eastwood thing. Cry Macho. I had it and I watched like half of it, and by the time I went back to it to finish, it had expired.
I'm down into Marvel. Your Moon Knight number 3 getting a second print. So, of course, a lot of people jumping in to grab that Hunter's Moon first appearance or first whatever.
Yeah.
So, getting a second print of that one. Looks like just a sketch version of the cover art.
I believe the Amazing Fantasy number 4A cover is an homage to what the heck is that?
Oh, yeah.
Son of a gun.
Not a great homage.
No, I've seen it. I know exactly what he's talking about, but I can't think of it either.
Usually I feel like the horses flip the other way.
It's almost a Trail of Tears thing, too.
Which one? Are you talking about
The A cover.
The horse.
the horse one? Oh, okay. I was looking at the Wolverine running. I was like, what is that an homage to?
Oh, what the heck is it? This is going to bother me.
Yeah, welcome to our world. This is Kyle and I each week. Like, oh, what is that?
I know. I should know.
Where's my brain at?
Yeah, this was me when the hip-hop covers were coming out for all the Marvel stuff. I'm like, I don't remember the album.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, look, we got an Ewok action figure variant.
Not the good Ewoks. Not any of the ones I know. We've got generic Ewoks.
You don't remember Roomba?
No.
It became
I know Poplo and the Chief, and I know, yeah, but not this dude.
I don't remember those two, so there you go.
No. Yeah. Tebow, there's a few different ones that I know, but he's not one of the ones I know.
Tinky Winky, is he one?
Hey, yes. You got it. You got it. All right, not a whole lot for me in Marvel this week. Down to Dynamite.
Boom, barely showing up.
Yeah.
Putting some trades out. Blue Baron number 1. There's been a lot. The binge book guy. He puts out these number ones. I thought Blue Baron already had a number 1. Is this like another volume of it?
Yeah.
We have the unbeatable Blue Baron.
Okay. I never read that Cherry Blackbird. Looks good. Oh shoot! There's Gillum March, Laura number 1. This is one of his European stories, right? Translated.
Yes.
Man, that's gonna be good too. Shit. How am I gonna decide? There are so many good books to choose from.
Heathens number 1 from Colin, or an Aftershock book, Colin Bunn and Heath Amodio, where you got a little bit of a piratey action here. Pirate Queen Lady She.
Now, Knighted #1. Now, I recognize that homage.
Yep, and that's part of the Resistance. It's part of AWA, and I think it's part of the Resistance universe. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Is that a new thing, or is that existing?
The Resistance, that was one of their first titles, and then they had the Resistance Uprising.
Oh, I see. Knighted is part of that?
Yes.
Okay. Was that Straczynski too? Did he do Resistance?
Yes, but this is written by Greg Hurwitz.
So why was my bad up? So is Ahoy being distributed by Lunar and?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. That's going to be confusing
Yes.
for us. Don't they think about us as podcasters?
I'm gonna go with no.
Drew, you like Vault Comics and you like Cy Spurrier, so are you in for Rush #1?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
The hungry earth reddens under snow-clad hills in 1899 Yukon Territory, a frozen frontier bloodied and bruised by the last great gold rush. But in the lawless wastes of the north, something whispers in the high brains of men, drawing them to a blighted valley, where a giant spider track marks the snow and impossible guns roar in the night.
Kyle, which Blink-182 album is Ninja and Robots #11?
Ooh. Oh, that's Edema or no, Enema of the State. That's
Enema of the State.
Lynn.
Yep.
That I know.
Still got that in there.
Yeah.
Man, this is going to be a challenge.
Mm.
I have like 10. I have like 10 choices.
Then you get to go last.
Wow. I think I know what it is. I think I know what I got to go with.
All right, this is the point of the podcast where we ask for the sneak peek at next week pick of the week. What's the next thing? You got to run out to Kowabunga Comics, knocking on the door either Tuesday or Wednesday, and say, "Hey, make sure I get my copy of this, so I don't have to go on eBay and try to get it from somebody like Drew."
Yeah,
just mark the price up.
Yeah, jerk. I'm gonna go with Laura #1, Gilliam March, from Ablaze Comics.
There we go. I'm going with Dark Knights of Steel #1 from our good friends at DC and my friend Tom Taylor. Let's see if he can write Batman with a sword.
And I'm going to go with the Amazing Fantasy 4A cover Frank Frazetta homage.
Very cool. Homage to what? We are still not sure, but by golly, we have to have it.
We know it's Frazetta. I just can't think of what the original name of that.
Amazing Fantasy 4, is that what it is? Okay.
Yes, it is the. Is this the whatever? Just shut up, Eric. Okay. I want to say it's the Four Horsemen, but I don't know. It's.
Any closing thoughts, Eric, before we get out of here?
I got it. It's The Death Dealer by Frank Frazetta.
Oh.
There you go.
I would have never got that with a million guesses, so hats off.
Took me a little while. It clicked, and then I checked, and it's right. Final thoughts. Final thoughts are buy comics, read picture books, be happy.
Hey, I don't think I could have ever said it better. So for Eric, Drew, and myself, see ya.